hope I do.
Sounding like Rory.
I'm questioning myself.
You buying subscriptions.
Who am I? And I'm playing Rory.
You're sad ginger.
Who am I?
Something big that I'm forgetting.
Am my hands small? That's probably what Rory said. He said that before to himself. I wonder if my hands are small.
He probably not worried about small. He's probably worried about feminine. You know what I mean? Because he's not a large guy. He didn't want big hands. But
Charlamagne was
girly
on.
hands.
Charlamagne was on Stephen A. Smith.
For what?
Oh yeah, he was up there. I didn't watch that yet.
I didn't watch it either.
I know. I saw that he was up there though.
I didn't make it through it.
It was like that.
I didn't make it through
Because
it.
of who?
Whose fault was it?
It was kind of Stephen A. Smith's fault. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of Stephen A. Smith's fault. And there's another thing that I was thinking. This is the I was excited because the first few clips, like Instagram reels that I watched of Stephen A. Smith when he started his YouTube show, I was like, this seems like it's about to be a really good show.
No, it is.
But then the next time I go back to it is when he was talking shit to the dude, Jason, what's the dude?
Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
And I was highly disappointed with Stephen A. Smith. It was like he lit an hour stream calling them like middle schooler
Names and shit like that.
And I was like, what the fuck is it? Like that was just the last thing I was expecting.
What's this old geezer doing?
Yeah, that was just the last thing that I was expecting. So it was, I thought that was weird. And then I'm watching this one. And let's just watch the beginning because of course he gives Charlamagne like the intro. No intro has been better than that ABC News one. That shit was going crazy.
Talking about from the jump like right here or
Yeah, but no, not the jump because this nigga does an elaborate prize pick
so right here.
breakdown of his picks and shit. So you're gonna have to skip through to win it. See, you see what I'm saying? I mean, she's like,
Hey, what is he wearing? What was he wearing?
Nigga, you get $100?
This is a little velour sweatsuit.
God damn.
Deposit match.
Oh.
deposit match. Yeah. So you put 100 in, you
And
get
you said
free.
that's velour loan?
That's how a lot of them are.
I believe so. I believe that's
a lot of
velour.
these little gambling ones. Every time I see them, it's like we'll match.
I
up to
thought
the
it was
first
free. I didn't know it was. Well, this is kind of pay to play, but I thought it was just like, hey, here's free money. Nigga.
Oh no, it's match.
Okay,
It's, we
okay,
match
you
up
match
to
it.
yeah, we match up to 100.
He look like he about to go skiing.
Okay, so yeah, let's listen to this and
Nigga on the fucking
just
blade.
just listen to the intro because he's gonna break down the premise of why they're together right now.
Tonight, mark my words.
I'm about to say, you gotta go smack a bitch.
Oh, I've been waiting to talk to this brother right here for a
He's still
variety
old
of
school,
reasons.
cool.
Obviously, in the aftermath of the State of the Union address by President Biden, along with a host of other things that have been going on inside and outside the world of politics, and especially inside and outside the black community. Who better to talk to than my man, co-host, The Breakfast Club, star of The Breakfast Club, an author, by the way, a best-selling author, along with a bevy of other things that you've been doing, the one and only Charlamagne the God. What's going on,
Stephen A.
big time?
Smith, what's up, brother?
It's good to see you, man. How's everything going?
I'm blessed, black, and highly
Those
favored.
pretty
You make me
young
want to lose some
depth
weight,
to
man.
it.
You make me want to get in shape. I mean, I'm in shape, but I got to slim down.
Oh, I had to. Listen, don't use me as the example. I was a nasty, disgusting, skinny fat at 208 pounds, okay? So losing all of that fat, that's all I did. And don't ever find yourself in a position that I was in because it was bad.
So, yeah, what, like 150 now?
I'm at 170.
Wow.
170.
Wow. I gotta slim down.
Lost 38 pounds. I feel great. I feel great.
Looks good on you, brother.
What about you? What's been going on with you, my man? How has life been treating you?
Life has been great.
Is this sped up?
I have no complaints, man. Kids are great. Wife is great. You know, professionally, everything is fantastic.
Hip pause.
Mentally.
The lighting is way too fucking bright. Also,
It's
Yeah,
very
it is.
well.
I mean,
I was
it's-
just thinking about that.
It doesn't favor Charlamagne's bald scalp.
Or
Stephen A. It's just goddamn, nigga.
Yeah.
We need sunglasses in this
like,
bitch.
I can clearly see the point where your forehead stops and that part of your hair where your hairline is supposed to
It
be
is
fucking.
Doesn't it feel
Yeah.
like a surgeon's room? Like,
Yes, it
look-
feels like an operating room. Yeah, it's
And-
bright as fuck in there.
And that's why you have an editor and you have a producer, you know.
Somebody had to pull them
put that
highlights
shit in
down.
After
Yeah,
Effects,
niggas
nigga.
need to pull them highlights down for sure.
they need an
And
F-Mac.
I didn't watch this, but I'm starting to get the feeling that
made it a-
Stephen A. didn't know why he was he didn't know why he was inviting Charlamagne on.
No,
outside
I-
of Charlamagne just being a famous nigga, he's Charlamagne. The
That's
White House
talk-
cares about what he has to say.
That's literally
I'm
the
not gonna
best
lie,
way to
I picked up
describe
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
Because even the way he was just sitting there, like he was going through the intro, and Charlamagne was like, "What are we about to do?"
Bro, because we know we do it. So
Yeah, you can just see it.
Because
Like, what's about
that's
to
why
happen?
all I had to do was show y'all the beginning. I knew y'all would figure that out.
Yeah.
I still made it like 25% of the way in, but I was like, we're not doing nothing on this. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, everybody thought just on paper, this is not a bad idea. Like Stephen A. Charlamagne the guy.
Yeah. Because nigga, it's KD and Kyrie. How can you lose?
It's the super team that doesn't work.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes.
And I think it possibly could work, but it just was so weird because it was like, even some of the questions that Stephen A. Smith was asking him, he was like, well, I mean, you're really wrapped up in the politics, so tell me, like, what are the black people saying? Like, I was like, what the fuck? What is happening right now? This is what is this right now? Like, it's just weird.
This is probably what Charlamagne hates now. He's the voice for all black political people.
He is, for sure.
And he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to be that.
And it's like, who turns a fucking Stephen A. Smith invite down?
Nobody.
That's stupid.
Well, actually, I feel like Charlamagne could, but Stephen A. he's the homie.
He could off of
I mean,
busyness.
he avoided academics forever. So
Yeah, fuck him.
So
he can obviously say no. Oh,
I don't know if I like Stephen A. in these mediums as much as I do.
man, this
Has
is weird.
he talked to Joe Budden?
Yeah, he has. He's going to Joe Budden's show.
that was straight.
that was
cool.
straight.
Yeah, that was cool. I watched that one.
So
Yeah.
what's the common denominator?
I would say on his YouTube. So I would say on YouTube, his solo channel. I'm not sold on this.
I'm not
sold on
channel,
this.
yeah.
Remember?
I'm not sold on it
Who's
yet.
Stephen A?
The Stephen A.
Nah,
show.
it's
I
cool.
was
Like-
sold. I was sold on the shorts though. But that's
that is easy to get sold.
I was about to,
on.
nigga, you've turned into the average consumer, nigga. That the show is good. The show is good.
What show?
Stephen A. show.
You watched?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's not.
fuck with
I'm not watching. I'm not over analyzing it, but it is on. I have no problem with it. Stephen A. talking this shit. It's cool. It's cool. It's just more Stephen A. If you like Stephen A., it's more Stephen A.
Yeah, because I mean, so far this is my 2 instances of like going purposely for long form content, and I'm like, I don't like it here. You know, that's just
Shut up and dribble.
yeah.
Where the sports at, man.
Yeah, it was weird because I can't remember exactly how he framed that question to Charlamagne, but it just let me know. I said, "Oh, you're just trying to get are you just trying to get a political clip from Charlamagne? What's happening right now? Like, are y'all trying to have a rough? Let's talk about the black community."
It's one of those times.
No, that actually that definitely happened. It was
I was about to say, it says it right there.
yeah.
Yeah, you're a genius. That's clairvoyance, nigga. But I wonder.
It was weird. Long story short, it was weird.
I wonder, like, first of all, that jacket is hard, but
that black effect.
hell yeah, that at least 600, 500. But this is
I heard probably bought
the black leaders in different mediums tend to like link up for various reasons, and this just seems like one of those reasons. Like Stephen A., he's a top nigga in his field. Charlamagne, he's a top nigga in the White House. So they just linked up, and
maybe that's what I also did. And like, I didn't realize Stephen A. Smith was supposed to be one of my leaders because they was talking like they was about to just try to solve our black issues and talking. I said, when the fuck did this nigga become my leader? Like
Stephen A's black.
I'm not sold on the sport. I like sports, but I do not watch sports shows. So
but he's the leader for niggas that want to get into that.
Yeah, so that shit was weird. Like I already know Charlamagne is gonna have to be my black voice because he's been chosen by everybody.
But what we're watching is we're watching Stephen A. like still learning his way through this side of the business. And like,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He still hasn't been on YouTube as long as he's been on TV. Like it's a little bit different as far as the
building
the content, building your page, building your audience, doing all that. He's figuring it out as we're in real time still.
All that
That's
for
a good
sure,
point.
but he's been asking questions and being a broadcaster / journalist forever.
Yeah, so
all this changes the subject matter. Like, I get the ones and twos behind the scenes, but what he's really talking about is like the quality of the conversation.
Yeah, it was weird.
But he's trying to have different conversations. That's what I'm saying.
this is just
Yeah,
for
but you a
Charlamagne.
conversationalist.
Yes, but his conversation has always been backed by sport. You know what I'm saying? Like most times he's talking about, I've covered this shit since I was yay high, nigga. I know everything sports. So now he's trying to branch out into more conversations. Not that he hasn't had them,
Which
but he's
should
trying
be
to make
easy.
those the focal point. You
And
know
I
what I'm
think it
saying?
should be easier because sports was a restraint.
Yeah,
You
and
can
he-
only talk about so much.
No,
Yeah.
sports isn't a restraint. That's his crutch.
It's the
Like
same
it might be
thing.
your restraint if you just had to talk about one thing. That might be your restraint. But to him, like that's his shit. So it's not something holding him back.
But
that's what, you know.
Yeah, but he also the vibe was this actually should have just been a podcast. But even though it's an internet show, it's probably will come out in podcast form, but
I thought it was a bike. It's not a podcast.
That's what I thought.
You know,
Well,
I've
it's a
never-
show.
But this
Stephen A.
is, but
Smith
back to your
show.
point.
But-
Back
but
to your
I mean,
point.
I mean the original podcast, not the podcast show. Like this is like Stephen A. Smith was conducting. He was phasing in and out of podcast conversation and talk show conversation.
But back to your point, this is him learning the
That's what I'm
ropes.
saying.
Like
Yeah.
he
He's still trying to blend the two.
it's two different things. It's two different things.
Yeah, that's why it just doesn't feel as polished.
Independent Stephen A. Smith. I ain't fucking with like right now.
Well, once he get his stride, we probably
Get his
will.
stride. Get his stride.
Well, right now. That's why I say right
Well,
now.
the fact that he hasn't got the stride yet, because you got to think he's just making it harder than what it has to be.
That's pretty
The
much
fact
what
that
he's
he
doing.
hasn't figured out that he has to try not as hard is the problem. It's not going to get better.
It's less. It has been less than a year because I remember that podcast started at the end of last year or like
it's,
mid
it's
last
still
year.
new, and that's why you were so disappointed. It's still new in the realm of things,
And-
that's why you were so
whoa.
disappointed with the stuff he was saying because he was just trying to do the shit that he thinks you have to do on the
And
internet.
perspective.
Jesus.
Perspective. He's doing way better than what Shannon was doing when he first started. Like if you go by like first month, like Stephen A. is shitting on what Shannon was doing.
know. What
his
I
first
think-
month.
I think a
his
year-
first
about?
month.
This is
in
not his
business.
first month.
We talking about
But
metrics?
I'm saying, metrics.
He's
we,
saying
so
like,
we just talking about, well,
In general.
comparing their first 6 months to
Yeah,
to-
first 6 months.
It's kind of hard to do. Just
It's
'cause
not hard
the
to do.
climate
We
was-
could do it.
One was 3 years ago.
Shannon's been around for 3
Shannon
years.
Sharp was doing his kind of amid the vid. You know what I'm saying? Where all content was up.
and it wasn't a real show yet. It was just like a
it
thing
was
that
Zoom,
would
and
happen.
that's why I started on Zoom. So it's
Yeah.
like that's kind of hard to even try to compare, honestly.
I think it's pretty easy,
we
nigga.
know it-
Because they both started out kind of unassuming like this show. Like, is it a
Yeah.
podcast? Is it a show? Because this could definitely
Well,
be.
one of them has a obviously better show at the moment, and we
Of
know who that
course.
is.
It's not even
Of
close.
course.
Not
Yeah.
even close.
And one of them has more funding. That is a whole nother conversation.
One of them has
You know.
more legacy. That's a whole other conversation.
yeah,
Because
Which black guy?
Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. are in the same field in terms of sportscasters, but Stephen A. Smith is a legend in that field. Shannon Sharp was just starting in recent years to get
but
that
Shannon
respect
Sharp
and
was a
credibility.
legend in pro football.
Yeah,
Hall
But
of Famer.
we're not playing football. With
I'm
this.
just saying that you're talking about stature and
Yeah,
status.
yeah.
There's people who you can put them on the same level.
You're talking about in the world. I'm talking about
Yeah.
in broadcasting.
I feel
In
that. I feel
broadcasting,
that.
you know,
Stephen
Stephen
A.
A.
is a legend.
Smith is a
Yeah,
legend.
He's the
Yeah.
guy in broadcasting,
I'd never.
and he's behind the new guy. The new guy, but technically Shannon is ahead of him because this is broadcasting, but it's a different field in a sense.
And that's what I mean. Like, Stephen A. is just starting to spread his wings.
A different type of broadcasting.
I can say
It's broadcasting, but
broadcasting is just
But
talking.
there's a thing you have to do when you get on YouTube because people on YouTube are on YouTube because they're looking for something that's not TV.
It's like
You know
how
what I'm saying?
it's like
There's a
how we
thing-
talk on Patreon.
Yeah.
Versus
this. It's like there's a different
we're-
thing
But
you have
talking
to
on
do.
mic is broadcasting. That's just
Yes,
what I'm saying.
but you still
Yeah.
have to flip the switch and do
Yeah, I
the
don't
different thing
disagree.
to make it actually
You
make
gotta
a
go.
difference. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There was a point in the
Nobody
Patreon
disagree.
where I was like, let me say the
You
F
niggas
word. I
arguing.
haven't like I forgot
know.
I could say that. Like it's
I'm
a
not
different.
really arguing. I'm just saying I agree.
Nah, nobody's arguing, but it's
not
just
argument.
it is a switch you gotta like.
Yeah.
Sound like Lauren just hit it.
No. I was saying that Shannon Sharp, like in the YouTube sphere, Shannon Sharp's ahead of him. Like even though he's a legend in broadcasting, Shannon Sharp is doing the thing where he's cut off the TV shit and doing the YouTube thing, and
Yeah.
he can do them both simultaneously and understand how to
And Shannon Sharp's
still
show.
be raw on
God, can we move
YouTube.
on? I'm so sick.
That's
of
all
this.
it
I'm
was.
sorry.
And
Nah,
Shannon
you
Sharp.
good.
All right, let's move on. Fuck it.
Yeah.